Hey beautiful soul, welcome to Malaology. Today we're going to talk about the gemstone rhodonite and its healing properties and its spiritual benefits. Rhodonite is often called the stone of love because of its pink color. It resonates with the heart chakra. Also, sometimes the stone of compassion, and it's also often called the eagle stone, and we'll get into that in a minute. But the reason it's called rhodonite in the first place is because the Greek word rhodon means rose. So that pink color in the rhodonite reflects the energy of roses, and that's where the flower rhododendron gets its name as well. So the brown, I don't know if you can see it. I'm hoping that this is tuning in here. The brown, black, and silver striations in rhodonite is manganese, and also some other minerals as well, but primarily manganese. And manganese is extremely grounding and stabilizing. It clears out emotional clutter and unwanted attachments. So it helps to clear out the clutter and unwanted attachments of love, relationship, that kind of thing, right? It's extremely emotionally healing. It helps with trauma recovery, heartbreak support, grief processing, but so much more. This isn't just for people who are, who have been broken up with or who have lost a loved one and want to recover. This is great for new relationships as well because it sets realistic expectations in relationship, right? So it's helps to bring an energy of forgiveness and tolerance, and it grounds your heart chakra. So it's extremely unique in that. It's just the benefits of rhodonite are very unique. You can't get this in just any other gemstone, right? You'd have to combine several gemstones to get this kind of energy. So you want to give it to young couples when they're first in a relationship. You can give it to newlyweds, again, to those grieving, but also to new parents, because parents will put rhodonite near their baby's cribs, not in the crib, but there are people who actually put rhodonite stones, large ones, so that they can't be swallowed, in the crib with their babies, but usually around the crib of their babies, in the bedroom of their children, just so that they can have the energy of the blessings that rhodonite brings. It's thought that to children it brings protection and good fortune. And the reason that people believe this is because in the Ural Mountains in Russia, they've seen eagles bring red or pink stones into their nests. This is an age-old belief that eagles put these red or pink stones into their nests. So it must be rhodonite. And so the eagles must know something. And so people actually started gifting rhodonite to their young for that same energy of protection and good fortune. Now, also in Russia, interestingly, school children will give this to one another around Easter time in the form of eggs to symbolize friendship and an affinity for someone else, affection. So it's kind of a popular gemstone in Russia, but you can find rhodonite anywhere in the world. I mean, not anywhere in the world, but it's not just mined in Russia. It's mined in many countries. You'll find it all over the globe. So because of that, like many gemstones, if it's sourced all over the globe, the specific the intricacies of the specific gemstone that you'll be working with. For instance, I work with beads. The beads that are sourced from the United States or from Brazil or from Russia will all look different, right? Sometimes you'll see rhodonite that doesn't have hardly or any dark striations in it. It'll just be a lighter shade of pink, maybe a medium or darker shade of pink. Sometimes it'll have only silver striations, sometimes only brown, sometimes a lot of black striations. It's very, very different. Sometimes rhodonite will have really detailed little spider web black webbing. I love that specific kind of rhodonite. but it all has the same energy of grounding your heart chakra, bringing maturity to relationship, maturity to expectations of relationship, and healing to your emotional body. Okay. Now, so because, like I said, it's got a lot to do with the area of Russia and Russian lore. Alexander II was a czar in Russia, and his wife, who I think her name was Empress Maria Alexandrovna, he made a sarcophagus for her, or somebody made a sarcophagus for her out of purely rhodonite. It's one solid slab of rhodonite that the sarcophagus was carved into, because rhodonite is found in large deposits, in huge formations, like big boulders of rhodonite are harvested. So it's not specifically rare. It's not super rare. So it's not super expensive either. It's more expensive than a lot of jasper, but it's not precious. Okay. Because of that, I very rarely see imitation rhodonite on the market. And it's pretty easy to tell imitation rhodonite on the market, because it doesn't have any, it's almost like they take jade and dye it pink or something like that. There's no detail to the stones. It's just pink that's almost sometimes translucent. Rhodonite is not translucent, it's opaque. And it's kind of buttery. It's hard to explain, but it's not the opaque, hefty, jaspery feeling of this rhodonite. It's pretty easy to tell the difference. Even though rhodonite varies from one part of the globe to the other, it definitely universally has this beautiful jaspery energy and feel and look. Now, sometimes people mistake rhodonite for rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite is rare, is precious, is dear and expensive. And it has white striations in it. It has darker striations as well, very much like rhodonite, but its stripes are banded and perfect, kind of, not super perfect, but they don't do any spider webbing, and there's no randomness in the design of rhodochrosite. In general, it's stripes that almost always includes whites. So rhodochrosite's pretty cool because it brings in the crown chakra as well. But if you see a gemstone that's labeled as rhodonite or rhodochrosite, sometimes the seller will mistake one for the other. And the way you will tell the difference is rhodonite doesn't have that white striation, and it's a lot less expensive. All right. But it pairs very, very well. I mean, rhodonite and rhodochrosite pair very, very well together because they're both heart chakra stones and they both have a very similar energy. So if you're looking for crystals and gemstones that pair well with rhodonite, rhodochrosite's a great one, but other pink stones like kunzite and rose quartz would be beautiful, as well as root chakra stones. And really it depends on what's in your rhodonite as far as aesthetically what would look pleasing. This rhodonite has a lot of brown in it, so I would pair it with jasper, like Picasso jasper. I have a mala that pairs rhodonite and Picasso jasper and some other jaspers. Those are great root chakra stones that aren't just all black or all silver or all brown, but also brown snowflake obsidian would be great. Hematite would be a beautiful pairing with rhodonite, because especially if your rhodonite has those silver streaks, black tourmaline or black obsidian would go great, if it has primarily black streaks. No, I'm being picky about my colors, but I really think that energetically any root chakra stone would go beautifully with rhodonite. Garnet would be beautiful, and I'm talking about the energy of garnet with rhodonite. Garnet brings fertility, right? And blessings into the family and to the body of somebody who's trying to get pregnant or just had a baby. And rhodonite is a great gemstone to give to newlyweds, people with babies, people with young families. So that goes really, really well together. Hematite is super shielding, super grounding, and super clearing. So that would be super good for somebody to give to somebody who wants to heal their heart. Smoky quartz is a beautiful one because smoky quartz releases old energy, and rhodonite releases old emotional baggage. So those two go really beautifully together too. So if you're working with a rhodonite bracelet or beaded necklace or mala, and you're doing affirmations or mantras with it, some beautiful mantras that would go really, really well would be ones that address your emotional needs, but also affirm where you're going or where you're choosing to go. So I'm going to put some up on the screen here. I am safe to open my heart. I am safe to open my heart. I am safe to open my heart. A lot of times we don't even realize we don't feel safe, until we practice a mantra like that and we understand that, and we come to understand that there was a clenching in the heart space. I release the past and embrace peace. I release the past and embrace peace is the ego. It's overwriting the ego's script of whatever story you're telling yourself and saying, you know what, I choose peace anyways. They may have done me wrong, but I choose peace and anyways. It's like taking control of your life. Love begins with me. That's taking responsibility for where you are in your relationship or in your life in general. Love begins with me. Love begins with me. To have a friend, you have to be a friend, right? So you get what you give. So that will help you to open your heart and to give to others more freely, understanding that you are shielded and protected ultimately. With each breath, I become more whole. With each breath, I become more whole. That's a beautiful one if you are in the process of healing, or to give to someone who is grieving in any way, because that's the truth. It is true. With each breath, you become more whole. So ultimately, rhodonite is a gift for self-love and self-care. So it's a beautiful gift to give to yourself or to others, and just to understand that self-love and self-care is a primary need, right? And rhodonite, the energy of rhodonite supports you as you fill your own bucket, basically, right? So if you want your own rhodonite mala, meet me over at malaology.com, and I'll see you next time. Mala blessings, love and light.